Well, we are back in the surprisingly bright world of space. We're currently in the middle of a spiral galaxy about 1 billion light years from Earth. Mostly because the rent here is a lot cheaper. Not that much life has evolved here. So, except for all the stuff that has. So, let's find ourselves a star. Any star. That looks promising. That one. Binary Red Dwarf, 18 planets. Binary Red Dwarf, 7 planets. Still kind of looking for life, it has to be said. It's really not that hard to find. Just have to have a bit of patience. There we go. Binary Orange Dwarf. 8 planets, 1 with life. So it'll bruise up. Oh, there are our orbits. It turns out to be a Titan, I'll just be disappointed. Oh no, the Titan's going to be interesting. If it turns out to be a gas giant, I'll be disappointed. Just gas giants aren't very interesting. It's an ocean world. Okay, fine, I'll take an ocean world. More interesting enough, all the planets seem to be circumbinary. Which isn't particularly common in any of the planets we've found thus far. Oh, it's a shiny world of gold. Rotation period is 23 hours 54 minutes, so that's fairly Earth-like. What isn't Earth-like is 6 atmospheres of pressure at the surface, and less than half of gravity. Some monstrous waves on this planet. It's our 2 stars. An M2 and a K6. Neither of which are interesting. There is the nebula in the distance. A suspiciously flat nebula, it has to be said. So ocean planets just aren't very interesting. Unless they have nice rings. But their main problem is they are boring, because they are ocean planets, and the name kind of sums up what the problem is. They're just oceans. They don't have anything else to them. Frozen Titan. Do we have any gas giants there? Ice giant, ice giant. Titan. 0.6 for Jupiter. That looks like a gas giant, or possibly 2. Still have the occasional crash bug, but I don't really know what's happening. Again, I think it's the drivers for Windows 10. Be a bit squiffy. Ah, we do indeed have a binary system. You'll also note that both the planets here seem suspiciously dark. This is because I've turned off compensation. If it was compensating for the distance from the stars by brightening the planets up, I've turned it off so it's more realistic looking. And as you can see, both these planets are weirdly identical. I think this one is slightly heavier, at 0.444441, or Jupiter's, and this is 0.2367. It's not as heavy. Gravity is pretty much 1g there, gravity is 1.4g there. Lovely. Temperature is minus 230, it's just not a particularly nice place to be out here. Now I thought it said there was another moon out here. It's not the right button at all. I said there was another moon out here, so there are 3. It lied to me. But yes, 2 suspiciously identical planets. Oh, what have I done? What's this setting? I think this is the one that puts them up in a line in the system chart. I think. Because sometimes you need to collapse your entire solar system into a chart by size. Which, if nothing else, is, again, fantastic for perspective. So let's turn the background off. So there's our main star. Here's our dwarf star. Here's our wide collection of giants. Here's our distant giants. Ice giant, ice giant, ice giant. All the dinky little titans over there. Actually, still 4 Earth masses, and 2 Earths in diameter. Well, honestly, this method would make filtering the system a lot easier. Well, isn't that a nice planet? Not nice as I was expecting, has to be said. It remains a Titan. I seem to have crashed into it. Or possibly the planet next to it. Oh yeah, that's the view you don't want to see. There's some syzygy right there. Ah, that's interesting. This one is in fact more massive, but not as wide as this one. Apparently. Another Titan, cold ice world, there's our ocean planet. Well, I should use this setting more often, it turns out. And there's all the various moons that we don't care about. There's some... Okay. You can go back to normal now. Good system. Heck with this, let's find another one. Star systems amuse me. There you go, you're close. Don't know why I'm prioritising things at the bottom of the screen. Let's have a look at something that's going past at the top of the screen, you'll do. Oh, more life. Orange dwarf, binary. Is that the system I've just left? I think it is. That's why I'm looking at things at the bottom of the screen. It is not. Okay, it's just a very eerily similar system. Fine. See, now I'm bringing all these windows and things. It looks like I know what I'm doing. It's very professional, I feel. Honestly, I haven't a clue. Ah, I suppose the green one is the one that has life. No, one of its moons has life. That is good to know. So what we got here? Cold ice world with a lovely set of rings. Oh, cold ocean with life. Here's a moon. At point, yet again, 0.1 of an Earth. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's turn off the system chart and point it back to where it should be. Turn sorts off, turn that off. So it's still an ocean world, it's still boring, but it's bright purple, which is interesting. Is that its planet down there? Yep. Cool ocean life. It's 1 atmosphere at the surface. It's 0.3 of a G, it's kind of tiny. It's one of the most purple planets I've ever seen though. That's nice. Well then chaps, once more, same as before. 2 planets of life, and a white in an F8 system. F8 isn't that far off of G2, which is where we are. It's not even 6,000 degrees. Star won't last anywhere near as long as the Sun, but it'll last long enough probably for decent life to evolve. That's very bright, isn't it? That's what we've got in our life-ometer. No, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. What have we got here? And a temperate ocean again. Oh, you're much more interesting. Looking, at least. And this planet here, which was truly fabulous rings. Let's bring up a system chart instead. Excuse me. It's much easier. Oh, the system chart makes life much, much easier. This is a very ringy... This is a very ring-filled system, I can't disprove. Nope, bit of a size jump there. There is the fabulous planet in the distance. Gas giant, ice giant, cold ice world. So that's about 2.5 Earths wide. Weighs 10 Earths. That's quite spectacular. I like that world more than this one, to be honest. There's boring ocean planet. That one has bacteria, this has more bacteria, lovely. Let's pick planet 6 there, and go to it. Oh, in position, the planet looks like this. Actually, heck with that, let's slow speed down a little. Because if we have found this wonderful looking world with its hundreds of rings, what we need to do is we need to close in down to the depths of the atmosphere, which is 0.004 of an atmosphere, so it can't be that dense, because it means we get the view of a view I would consider quite worth it. Because here we are in the ring shadows. In fact, let's go into the gap between the ring shadows. Well, the sky is just full of crazy. So on top of the mountains and the ring shadows, as the rings just stretch off into the distance, there's a star, possibly the sun. Yeah, I could live with this one. I could live with it. But there's the sun, okay. Let's see what the other one looks like. Expect more stream of consciousness babbles, because I like them. And the fact is, I'm partly here to see if my improved connection improves my upload speed, which it probably should do, which will make making videos a lot easier, which will not necessarily all be SpaceEngine. So, 2.5 Earths wide, this fake Europa is about 1.7 G at the surface. Got a nice view of the sky. Technically has an atmosphere, but we are currently... There it is. That was the atmosphere, I hope you enjoyed it. 0.04 of an atmosphere. Barely enough to even tint the sky as we punch through the surface. Oh, that'll do. Oh, we're lost, we've done it again. Helm, get us out of here. Where have we gone? Who knows? We'll see what fresh hells we can come up with. So let's find a system. I want a decent system. Nope. Four stars? Will they... Oh, hello. No, wrong button entirely. 4 stars, the white dwarf as the heaviest. Interesting, we haven't seen many red dwarfs, have we? Let's collapse the entire thing to a point and see what we've got here. Oh, what have I done? Never mind. Let's just zoom in manually. I've lost it. Only on bloody lost it. Fine. How embarrassing. I think the problem was I need to click on the star first and then do that. There we are. We've definitely got a brown dwarf in there. That's what else we have. We're at 2000 AUs, it's going to take a little while to get there. Speaking of a white dwarf, should be about the size of the Earth. And though it weighs 0.66 of a sun, so it should be a bit bigger. Yep, there we are. And it does a bit of distortion while it's here because it's a horrendously degenerate compact object. What have we got? We've got, in terms of sheer size, the widest thing here is a gas giant. Yeah, ignore the gravitational anomaly occurring at the end of the line. That's weird. Well, so the widest thing in the system is a gas giant at 12 Earths wide. Then its counterpart at 10 Earths wide. Then come the actual stars. An L7, an L6, and an L5. which are all slightly smaller Jupiters. Then the actual star, AAA, which is about an Earth wide. And then the planets. This is an interesting system, mostly because the white dwarf ruins everything. Because it's a compact object, and yeah, it weighs as much as some not entirely non-respectable stars. I'm just liking the fact there are planets here bigger than the stars. They're also not as massive. This one is 4 Jupiters. AB here is 39 Jupiters. So significantly different in terms of sheer mass. So it turns out, even in our system, Jupiter is about as big as a planet the size of Jupiter can actually get. This is because if you add more mass to Jupiter, Jupiter itself just gets smaller. Which sounds weird, but if you add more mass to Jupiter, it just gets smaller. Why? Because Jupiter, that's weird, it's orbiting nothing. Why? Because Jupiter's of the size... Oh yeah. I'll start again. Jupiter can't get much larger than it currently is. Because if you add more mass to Jupiter, it just becomes more dense. More dense, and more dense, and more dense, and more dense, and more dense. Until eventually you add about another 20 odd Jupiters to it and it turns into one of these. Or at least a Y version. So this one in particular is 44 Jupiters. And as you can see is an honorary star at best. I hold brown dwarfs in contempt. So what you have here is a triple system just of the white dwarf here, the brown dwarf, which isn't very far away, which presumably means that when this was a big star, the white dwarf was a big star, it may have actually had this skimming through the outer atmosphere. We then have a brown dwarf of the planet, and then millions and millions of miles away, if not billions of miles away, 800 AU, that's definitely a long way out. So that's just a long way, billions and billions of miles. There's the other brown dwarf, which has the same planets. We shall mock them. But we'll visit this particular... We'll slow speed down a bit. And we'll visit this brown dwarf. Why? Because it has that one tiny little planet of its own, which is kind of adorable. And it is the L7, which is one of the smaller brown dwarfs. T is lower than L in the spectrum list. You get O, which is your biggest, you get B, which is still pretty big, A, which is the white stars, F, which is whitish stars, G, which is, we would call them yellow. The sun is a G-type star, they're actually white, because it turns out our eyes are adapted to regard the sun's light as white. Yeah, the atmosphere just tweaks it a bit. K stars, which are orange, M stars, which are red, L stars are these brown dwarves, which are redder than red, and then there's T and Y dwarves, which are less and less interesting as time goes on. Y dwarves are weird because they might in fact just be loose planets. We don't know. Can we select the planet? Can we do anything with it? Hello? Is it there? Do I need to shuffle the solar system again? Apparently I do. Let's shuffle it back in. Anything back where it should be? No. Apparently we can't see that planet. That's a shame. Savvy, let's go for one more system. Let's see what we can find in the mysteries of the void. What are you? Binary brown dwarf? Meh. You're bright. Binary orange dwarf. Binary F-type star with life. Let's see what we got there. It's not that hard to find life. It's everywhere, really. Don't know what kind it is. Don't know what it looks like. I mean, obviously you can't know what it looks like. That was a bit redundant. So, orbiting this star is the one with life, apparently. How wide is this system? These guys are 11 AU apart. What's the main? Okay, that's a K7. That's not a huge sun. I can live with that. As apparently you can things in this system. What do we got? That's surprisingly not very bright. It's not very warm, rather. I suppose it is 4 AU out, as far away as Jupiter. With the brightest star, it's very green. A lot of green planets recently. I don't like. You turn realistic real planet brightness on, so it compensates for it. It doesn't affect the rings, so the rings are always distressingly bright. Turn all this back on, so now we are. What's our life in this system? It is an ocean planet. There. Boring. It's not interesting to look at, your average ocean planet. That's the problem. So many times you see a ball of water and go, yay, it's got clouds. I want to find Terran worlds. Oh, I'll do this, I don't know. I think the system shuffling button is now my new favourite button in the entire program. Sail down the length of the system. Lots of rings again. Oh, that's very blue. It's a coal gas giant. Must be a long way out if it's blue. It's got methane. Yeah, a bit of a size difference this time between the stars and the planets. So that's our K7 orange dwarf. It's about half the size of 60% the size of the Sun, and is about 0.8 of a sun wide. And here is its big brother. Oh, that's a bit bigger, isn't it? That's a bit larger. That is 2 suns wide, if you couldn't tell. There's the other side. And it weighs about 2 suns. No, it weighs about 1.4 suns. So yeah, bit of a difference. I suppose what I did say that was the last thing we'll do. Let's see if the game will actually last long enough for me to go to the Sun, which is currently 800 million light years away. Because if we're going to rearrange any solar system, let's rearrange our own, just for that last blip of glorious perspective. Closing in. There we go. What have we got here? Guys, get in here. So they weren't kidding when they said the Sun was the biggest thing in the solar system. I've gone quite a long way up. I need to slow down a bit. There we go. Never drink and fly, kids. When they said the Sun was the biggest thing in the solar system, they really weren't kidding. Turn Shift V on so everything lights up a bit. There is Jupiter. There is Saturn. There's Uranus, there's Neptune, and that means this little speck here is us. Uranus actually weighs less than Neptune. It is, however, slightly wider. Not as dense. Probably my favourite planet in the solar system, just because it's the odd one. It's the odd one and the boring one. Nothing really happens there. It looks fairly dull. It gets weather once every 40 years or so when one side or the other faces the sun. And beyond that, it remains this featureless ball of nothing. But it's on its side, and we don't know why. And one of its moons appears to have fallen apart and stuck itself back together, and we don't know why. Fun. Well, and there's the sun. And we're now stuck inside Neptune, which seems like as good a place as any to end the video.